So there I was, laying in bed, sleeping in my cozy, warm, comfortable bed over there, thinking about nothing bad, and then it hit me. Hold on, Victor. Have you thought about your YouTube channel today? Oh boy, sure did. Have you checked your stats today? Definitely did that. Have you checked how many views you got on your latest video? 100% did that. Any more views? Any more subscribers? No, definitely not. What have I missed? I have the feeling like I missed something. Have you actually done something productive for the channel? Oh boy, of course. I knew I forgot something. So here I am now at 2 a.m. at night, trying to record this video, trying to start something new, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, I say that in pretty much every single video I do. Today, we're trying out something new. But it's true. Oh boy, that rhymed. We're off to a good start. No, but I mean, I have like 30 videos on this channel at this point, so pretty much every single video I do will be something new. That also rhymed. God, this will be the best podcast ever. Oop, I just said it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start a podcast. By now, you have probably checked out the timeline of this video and thought to yourself, oh, the hell is going on here?
No, thank you.
And unsubscribed to my channel. And no, please don't do that, by the way. Please don't. But yeah. I would like to start a podcast. And yeah, so it's all fake. It's all fake. This is not sunlight. This is a lamp, and I can, you see, I can turn it. And this is also a lamp. And I'm not even recording with this microphone because I didn't figure out how to record on it. I didn't manage to start it and everything. So I'm recording my voice from the shotgun mic that is mounted onto my camera, which is really not the best scenario here because this video is all about you listening to my beautiful voice. Obviously, I would be flattered if you would actually watch my face talking to this beautiful voice, but you don't actually have to watch this video, I guess, or put it on a secondary screen. That's the idea of this thing, of this podcast. Put it on a second screen or let it play in the background while you're gaming. For me personally, I have been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. For example, I've been listening to the H3H3 podcast, of course, and I've been also listening to the Insanely Chill and Tiny Meat Gang podcast. Those two are definitely my favorite, by Cody Ko. Check that guy out. He's hilarious. I really love his podcast. So usually when I'm at home, I spend a lot of time in front of my computer. And I'm sure most of you guys do too. But as you guys know, I am a freelancer. So I am working from home. I know, it's crazy. You can actually spend time on your computer and be productive. Oh boy, I just found out. So yeah, I have a setup of like 3 screens sitting on my table, and on my second screen I usually A, listen to some music, or B, watch a gameplay or a let's play of some games, or C, listening/watching a podcast. And a podcast definitely is my favorite so far, and I really enjoy that, and I really like to do that while I'm working, or even while I'm gaming, but I'm not gaming that much anymore. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I said that 3 times now. So I thought to myself, hey, Victor, you need English content. You need English content that you can make a series out of. You need English content that you can produce by yourself, with just you. So why not start a podcast? And I hope this is interesting for someone. So here's how we're gonna do this now. Because it is 2 a.m. at night and I am extremely tired and my girlfriend is sleeping in the back. By the way, I'm really jealous of her because she can sleep wherever she wants, whenever she wants to. That is extremely rude towards me, okay? Because I can't sleep anywhere when there's even a little noise. Like there's just some water dripping in the kitchen and I can't sleep, okay? I am sleeping with earplugs in every single day, okay? Because her breathing is too loud. It's not that loud. I'm just really sensitive and it sucks. So I wish I could sleep like a rock, like she does right now. And I'm talking right here. I recorded the last 2 videos late, like at midnight, and she was sleeping in the back. I'm really jealous of that. Anyway, where was I? So I think I will record the first part of this podcast now, and then record the second and the third part later, tomorrow, or whenever I feel like doing it. But I just really wanted to get this off my chest. I actually wanted to start a podcast for a while now, and I've been laying in bed and like, God damn it, you wanted to do this video today and you didn't. So I had to start it, and I hope it's okay for you to listen to this bad audio quality and listening to a really tired Victor, and I hope I'm not talking too much nonsense here. But I have several topics written down. I know, it's unbelievable. I actually have an idea of what I'm going to talk about here. First topic of today, or tonight, or of this podcast, is talking in a different language. Which for me, obviously, is something I do on a almost daily basis. And it would be the English language. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, let me know in the comments. But to me, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who thinks like this, to me, when I'm talking in a different language than my own native language or my mother tongue, I become a different person in a way. Right? Like, if I'm talking in English and not in German, you guys know that English is not my native language. Ich bin Deutscher, okay? Ich bin Deutsch, yeah? I'm German. And so when I'm talking about topics in English, I have a different opinion about them as I would have in German. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I feel like I am playing a character. Unintentionally, though. I am playing a character when I'm talking in English. And I think this comes from my background of learning English. Really, I didn't learn English in school, not at all. I learned English from gaming. I learned English on TeamSpeak from talking to American and English people. And so I've been listening to Americans and English guys my whole entire life now. And that's where I learned English, and I think that's why I copied their way of speaking, and that's why I might have copied their ideas and their opinions as well, at least to a certain degree. It's also the same thing with movies. I'm always watching movies in the original sound. I'm always watching movies in English because I consider it to be way better. Now, don't get me wrong, here in Germany we have some very excellent dubbing, and we have professional actors. They all they do is dub actors, and it sounds really good. But for me as a filmmaker myself, I like to hear the on-set recorded audio, because it sounds different if I'm talking in a room, or if I'm talking outside, or if I'm talking in a car. And they try to copy this in German. They try to master it afterwards. But I just feel like it feels more authentic and real and more natural when I'm listening to the original sound in English. And I would suggest everybody to do that in Germany. I actually think that's a problem here in Germany. We have no English movies. Like in cinema, you can choose to watch the original version, but it's usually late and in a smaller theater or something like that, or in a smaller room in the theater. Everything gets dubbed. Everything, okay? And for example, in the Netherlands, they don't do that. They are listening to the English original versions from their childhood on. And so they're growing up with watching English movies, and they're growing up with listening to English over and over and over again. And so that's why I think they're much better than us in English in school. Like when we did a trip to the Netherlands in like the 10th grade or 9th grade, they are all better in English than us. And I think that comes from watching English content their whole entire life. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Becoming a different person, playing a character while talking in English. And it's not only that, it's even more complex than that, because I can choose between several different versions of me talking in English. What I mean by that is that I can pretty much change my accent depending on who I'm talking to, because I've learned English through different persons. I might change my accent if I'm talking to an English guy, for example. You guys in America might like call it British accent or something like that. I don't know. But it changes depending on who I'm talking to. Let's say I'm talking to Kevin, for example. Kevin, I mentioned him with in a vlog with Duncan, Pigland from the Revenge server back then. I might talk to him like this, mate. I'm talking to him like this. But then again, I'm talking like this to Duncan or to you guys right now because I've gotten used to it. So there's even more characters of myself talking in a different language. Now the question is, does my British English version have a different opinion about a topic, has a different opinion about a certain topic than my American English version of me? Ooh, oh boy. It's an interesting thought, I think. Let me know what you think. Like for you guys, I'm assuming, or I know that most of my viewers are from America and then Germany. But I know that you guys don't necessarily need to learn a second or a third language to be able to communicate with people outside your country, because the US is huge and you can just travel within the US and have a great vacation because the landscape and everything changes from state to state. So I get that. Also, English obviously is the language number one. It is international. So you don't necessarily need to learn a second language like we do here in Germany. Here in Germany we learn English from pretty much the 3rd grade on, and then all until we finish school. It's not an option. You can choose not to learn English. It's not even really considered a second language anymore, I think. You then have to learn French or Spanish as well. So maybe for you guys in the US, it's French or Spanish. If you're really good at it, you might listen to a lot of Spanish or French or whatever. Italian music, or you might watch Italian or Spanish movies, and you might get used to the sound and the way they speak and the way they act in those movies. And so you kind of become them while copying them, because that's how you learned it. That makes sense to me. That's just natural. Am I in focus? Yes, I think so. This is the worst setup ever. I'm so professional. But yeah, I'm really happy I started this podcast, by the way. Also, let me know if you actually think this is a good idea. I can promise you the audio quality will get better, and the lighting and everything, it's okay, I guess, but the recording time should probably change, because right now it's almost 2:30 a.m. and I'm getting really tired again. But I just wanted to get this off my chest, as I said. So, becoming a different person. Very interesting. Let me know what you think. I really think that I might be more sensitive, I might be more thoughtful, and I might have an entirely different opinion about a certain topic in English than I do in German. And that's really interesting to me. And then obviously that also leads to my second topic, English content. As I said, I need to have something that I can start off a series with. I really would like to make several videos out of this. This could become a weekly thing. I could imagine recording 1 hour or less every week. I think I have a lot of topics that I would like to talk about. Also, especially movies. I mentioned this in one of my latest videos, that I am in love with movies. I watch a movie every single day. Almost. But I watch let's say I watch 4 movies a week. That's unhealthy, is it? It's almost at a point of addiction, I guess. But I see it as a way of learning. Yeah. So it's good for me because I'm working in the movie industry. Anyway, I would like to talk about movies. See, I don't even have I don't even have pants on right now. That's how late it is, okay? I just put on this sweater and my hat because oh damn, I look good. My hair is perfect right now. I should just leave it like this, honestly. I don't care. Okay, I already was in bed, so okay, never mind. I don't know how many of you guys know my German channel. I have done several German comedy videos on YouTube where I pretty much put all of my effort into, and I advertised them on this channel enough, so I won't do that anymore. But I'm just letting you guys know, I like to work with other people, you know, and I work with a lot of people for a living. You know, as a director, I have to be able to speak to people and to connect them. And I have to be able to feel and manage to see what the actors want and they need, and I have to be able to judge their emotions and then turn them into something different without offending them, but giving them a good idea of what I want. Anyway, I need to be able to, I have to work with people. That's what I'm saying here. And for my German channel, I worked with other people all the time. You know, basically all of my comedy sketches are with several people. They're all very professionally shot for YouTube. You know, for a small YouTuber, I would consider them as very professional. Sadly, it does not exist anymore, but I will show some of that stuff in my show reel from last year, which I'm planning on editing or cutting at some point later, this or next month. So there will be a show reel and there will be some scenes of my German channel in there, because I had some pretty cool action videos on there and I don't want to let them go to waste. Working with other people. Now, that's a problem, because I'm doing English content, and as you guys can imagine, because of the stereotypes, Germans are not the best in English. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone I know speaks English in Germany. Okay, especially people my age. There's nobody who doesn't speak English, at least to a certain point. You know, a point where we can communicate with each other. But then again, not a lot of people are able to speak the way I am, and they have a strong accent. And what is even more important than their accent is that they are not feeling natural when they're speaking English. You know, they might not think the same way, and they might not say things in English that they would joke about in German, you know. And so when they're acting, if I would try to get my people together and do some English sketches with them, I could, of course they could read lines. Of course everybody can speak English. But it would feel weird. It would feel unnatural. And that is very, very, very important to me. You know, the actor has to feel comfortable in the role that he's playing. You know, he has to understand. Obviously, he has to know the role and everything, but he has to feel natural. And that comes down to even the smallest level, even the small level on YouTube of the quality level that we have right here. And so that's a problem. I can't work with a lot of people right now, at least at this moment. So, yeah, it's just pretty much me, myself, and I. But as I said, I have no problem with me talking in English. And I actually enjoy me being a character. Which also, again, is because I like to act. I guess. I really like to act. I like to play as characters in movies. And so I guess I really just like to play a character of myself, a different version of myself. That's so creepy and also a little selfish. I don't want to come off as a douchebag, really. That's not what I mean. I just feel like it's really interesting. And if some of you guys are actors, you understand what I mean. I like to talk. I like to talk about things, and especially as a different person. So yeah, English content. See, the thing is, on my German channel, I kind of drive myself into a dead end. And by that I mean I had to produce quality content. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to produce quality content, but it's hard. And it actually can be bad for you. Because for the German channel, like every single video had to be better than the last one. You know, every time I had to get better and better and over again and better. And that's a dead end, you know. And I was getting frustrated even though I only had like 23 videos. You know, I was already getting frustrated about it, that I had to put up such a high quality and people are not responding to it, you know. And I truly believe that your appearance, the personality behind the channel is much more important than the quality of the visual quality of the content itself. Which is funny again because I upload 4K 60p and 10 bits 422 footage, and you guys don't even know what that means. You remember that 4K? This is art in 4K video. That video was shot on a Red Dragon. That's a 60,000 euro camera that I rented. I didn't specifically rent it for that video, but I used it for that video. That was the whole joke about it, basically. You know, me having the most expensive equipment I ever used and then shooting the most simple and ridiculous easy video I ever did. That was the joke about it. So yeah. Quality over quantity. I really like to say this. I used to like saying this. And it fit my German channel. But I felt frustrated because the community would not really react to high produced quality as much as they did for my English videos, where it was just me talking about a topic. But now I understand it. I mean, just watch PewDiePie. His videos have no visual quality at all, like the actual recording, but it's a amazingly honest and great personality behind the channel, and that's why I like to watch him, and that's why people love him. You know, he just hit 60 million subscribers, and I really enjoy his content lately again. Anyway, so yeah, I think the focus is shifting. Quality over quantity does no longer apply all the time. Now, we really have to, or I really have to find a balance between quantity and quality. And I will continue to work as good as I can and produce visually pleasing videos because I want to. But I don't want to go the same way I did with my German channel, where I would need several weeks and multiple people to work with for one video and have the best effects and everything and music and sounds and everything for a 3-minute video then and nobody watches it and me just getting frustrated over it because I'm getting frustrated way too fast, as I said. So I want to have a mix. You know, I would like to do skits, like the I Lost My YouTube Partnership video that was written and shot on one day and edited on one day. That was really, really random. And those videos are my absolutely favorite videos. You remember that, when I have to pee, but the toilet is too far away video? Where it was about me getting like my journey to the toilet. That was my favorite video for a long time, and that also was shot and written on one day. Also shot with a red camera, by the way, for this time a 40,000 euro camera, and it doesn't really look like that though, but it was shot on a red Epic, which is the camera that they used for The Hobbit. Talking about overkill. Yeah. But anyway, that video was really simple, and the I Lost My YouTube Partnership video was really simple, but really great. And I love those two videos. Those two are one of my favorite videos of all time. And I will continue to post videos like this. You know, just really spontaneous, stupid, short, random skits or sketches. And then I will continue to post videos like this, a podcast potentially, where I'm just talking. And then obviously like 10-minute traveling videos and vlogging videos potentially every now and then. And then I would like to start with reacting videos. And yeah, let's see what else. Okay, the second topic that I would like to talk about is dreaming and lucid dreaming, but also dreaming in general. Now, I dream every single day, okay? I remember what I dreamed that night every single day. And sometimes it is a combination of several smaller dreams, but usually it is one big dream that continues all throughout the entire night. Even though I get up and go to the toilet, when I come back and lay down again and fall asleep, I continue the same dream. At that point, it might be at a different location, or I might have done a little time warp, or something might have switched, but it is still the same dream in my head, and like the characters are the same, and the I don't know, the plot, if you want to say so, is the same. So I dream every single day, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I've been thinking about it because I also lucid dream sometimes. Not every day, but sometimes I do. For those of you who heard about lucid dreaming, but you're not really sure what lucid dreaming is, let me explain that for you. A lucid dream is a dream during which the dreamer is aware of dreaming. During lucid dreaming, the dreamer may be able to exert some degree of control over dream characters, narrative, and environment. And that's pretty well explained. And that's exactly what happens to me. Yesterday, for example, I fell asleep and I dreamed one big dream the entire night, basically. And they say you dream the most the 2 hours after you fell asleep and the 2 hours before you wake up. So you dream in your light sleep, and the 2 hours before you wake up is also the part of the dream that you remember the most. And it is very frequent for me and very normal to remember a dream. One funny thing is that I always talk about my dreams with one of my roommates, and she tells me about her dreams because she also dreams every night, and then I tell her about my dreams, and then we compare which dream was crazier and weirder and everything, because it gets really stupid in my dreams, and sometimes it doesn't really make any sense anymore. But in my dream, it makes total sense. You know how dreams are. So yesterday, I had a lucid dream, and which basically meant that I knew that I was dreaming, and I changed the dream depending or according to that information, to that knowledge of mine. So basically, I think what happened, I was a spy in ancient China. I was a spy in ancient China, and my mission was to spy on the emperor or something. And I don't remember it too well, but I knew I was a spy, and it was really dangerous, and I got caught. And then I had to flee. Is that the correct word? I had to flee by car, which made no sense. But yeah. Anyway, I remembered while being in a very dangerous position, or while being stuck or almost getting caught, I remembered that I was dreaming. And so I said to myself, hey, Victor, you're dreaming right now. This is your universe. You can change things however you want. You're basically God. And so I did. I changed things for the good and let all my enemies disappear or something, and then I got away. So that was really funny, because after I woke up and I talked about the dream, I also remembered that I was lucid dreaming, and I remembered very well that I was changing how the dream went. Yeah, as I said, this doesn't happen too often, but I looked it up afterwards because I thought it was really interesting. It was fascinating. And apparently there are a lot of different ways and tips and tricks on how to lucid dream. However, I am not sure if any of that actually works. But yeah, you could try it out and it might work. Who knows? I don't know. I just wanted to tell you about my dreams. So a lot of times, actually, I take inspiration, I get inspiration from my dreams. I dream something extremely crazy and extremely weird, but some part of that dream might actually be so emotionally touching to me because it feels so real in my dream that it's stuck in my head for several days after I dreamed about that. And it gets stuck in my head and I think about it and I turn that into a story or an idea. And I always, in my phone, I always write down ideas. Like a lot of times during night, like I wake up because I had a cool dream and I immediately write it down to remember it afterwards. And it happened already that I turned my dreams into an actual movie. It happened in my experimental movies, and it also happened in my latest movie. So that is, yeah. I don't want to say that's interesting. Like I gotta come up with more words to say. I always say that's interesting. That's so interesting, but it is though. So yeah, my dreams become reality. It also kind of makes me think about how much information our brain actually saves. Because sometimes I continue a dream. And sometimes I continue a dream that I dreamed over 3 or even more years ago. No joke. And I instantly know that I already dreamed about this. My brain remembers the location, the feeling, the story, the characters, everything from that 3 years old dream. My brain recalls that instantly. And I continue the dream. This happened to me. Like not only once or twice. This happened to me several times. And it's so cool. And sometimes it's really sad. And sometimes I actually finish a dream, like a story that I didn't finish before, but like 1 year before. And then I continue dreaming that, and then I finish the character's story. And there's so much to think about here. How much does the brain actually hold on information? How much does the brain save that we can't access? Because obviously after 2 or 3 days, I forget what I've dreamed about, you know. And because it's unnecessary information. The brain does not want me to recall all of that. It's unnecessary information. But apparently it still knows exactly what I dreamed. So apparently somewhere deep down in my brain, all that information is still saved on a backup drive somewhere. You guys have that too, or is that something special? I don't know. Do you guys dream? Do you guys lucid dream? Do you guys continue dreams? Tell me if you do. Once I actually dreamed that I was guilty of some, in my head, extremely bad crime. I don't recall what crime I did, but apparently I was really, really, really shocked, and I was really emotionally down and sad, and it was tough to, I don't know, in my dream I felt so incredibly guilty. And I woke up because it was too much for me to handle in that dream. And I was sad. I was really sad. I had tears in my eyes because I was this sad, because I felt so guilty in my dream. Like, as I said, I don't remember what exactly I did. I think it was something really stupid and nothing really bad. At least not to that level of feeling guilty afterward. But it felt so real that I woke up and I had tears in my eyes. And I wrote that feeling down and what I saw in the dream. And now when I read it, it makes no sense. But I don't know. Maybe I can potentially turn this into a movie. Or a dream into a movie, and I think it's a pretty interesting source of information, a source of inspiration. An interesting source of creative pictures that I usually wouldn't think of, and that usually don't make sense, but in a dream they do. And maybe I one day can turn that into something that makes a little more sense, but still is very original and very creative, and that was actually originally a dream. I like that thought. I like that thought a lot. Something else which has a lot to do with dreaming is my sleeping rhythm. That's the next topic. Oh boy. Sleeping rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, where to begin? My sleeping rhythm is effed up. Okay? A lot of times, at least. Sometimes I got it under control, but a lot of times I can't sleep. And it takes me several hours to fall asleep. And then I'm super tired when I wake up. And then when I wake up at 11 or something, or even 12, I get up, and first thing I have is an energy drink. Oh boy, energy drinks. I am addicted to energy drinks, a little bit at least. I usually drink one energy drink a day, and I know a lot of people who have it even worse than that. A friend of mine who whose shift switches from night shift to early shift, like almost every 2 weeks or so. Like his sleeping rhythm is even more messed up than mine. And he drinks four Monster cans a day, so that's 2 liters of energy drink a day. So I'm not there yet, and I don't ever hope on being there. But I usually drink one energy drink a day, and man, I never expected this to happen. But I guess it really makes you. I guess it really is addicting, and I guess I really like the feeling of being awake. And it helps me focus. Usually when I can't motivate myself and sit down and write something or work on something that I don't necessarily want to, I have an energy drink, I drink it, and I can focus a lot better, even though I wasn't tired. So a lot of times I drink an energy drink even though I was not tired, but I couldn't focus enough. And it helps me focus. And it's so bad for you. I know. It's so incredibly unhealthy. And I have to stop it somehow. But at the moment, I just feel like I can't get away from it. I'm trying to buy less energy drinks. I'm trying to drink less. But yeah, my sleeping rhythm is changing a lot of times. I go to bed late. Sometimes I go to bed early at like 12. Which is early for me, so at midnight, but then I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep until 3 a.m. because I'm thinking about new ideas. Here's the thing. There's 2 sources of inspirational ideas that I always have. There's two things. One of which is me sitting on the toilet. Okay? When I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm getting all of my ideas. Okay? No joke. I'm sitting on the toilet. Boom! I get ideas. I don't know why. It's just, I'm so relaxed. It is something so incredibly relaxing and private. I sit down and it's just me and 9gag and my phone. And then the ideas just start flowing and I don't know. And the second thing is me laying in bed trying to fall asleep. And then the ideas come. I can't just sit down at my table at noon and say, all right, Victor, you're going to write a movie now. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, but there's nothing. There's nothing. And when I'm going to bed, after 8 or 10 hours later, really frustrated that I didn't come up with any cool ideas today, I lay in bed and boom, my head just starts exploding because of all the ideas. And then I have to write them all down. And then I'm up until 4, 5, 6 a.m. because I'm always constantly continuing and adding new ideas and writing everything down in my phone. And yeah, that's not good. But I think I'm not alone on this one. I think I know a lot of people who have the same issue. A lot of people who work in the field of art, or a lot of movie makers. I think a lot of them also get their ideas late at night or in bed. I don't know about the toilet, but I'm pretty sure some people get a lot of ideas on the toilet. But it both comes down to a certain state of relaxing, both on the toilet and in bed. I think about nothing bad, I'm completely calm and relaxed, and then the ideas start flowing. The third topic of today is about personalities, how people think of themselves, and personality disorder, in a way. Also, I gotta fuel that addiction. Hold on. Thank you. I also gotta remember that I currently got a pizza in the oven, so I hope it's not burning. It's on a really low temperature though, so I got a few minutes to spend with you guys. So the third topic, personality disorder. I thought about this a lot. I always thought about this because of my background in art school. I never really felt like I belonged in art school just from the way I look, because I consider myself looking rather normal. And in art school, you have some very strong personalities. They are representing their personality really, really strong and really harsh. And you hear the word different and unique a lot nowadays. I feel like not only in the art industry, but in the music, in the movie, in the acting industry, everywhere. Everywhere. Not only everywhere. You need to be different. You need to be unique. You need to be crazy and different than anyone else in order to be successful and to get recognition out of the mass. Well, if everyone is different, then really no one is. But I think to a certain degree, in some parts, for example, if you are an actor, it's true. You should have a strong personality, and you should have a certain uniqueness and a unique style to you. But it shouldn't really matter that much. I feel like people nowadays are so crazy and focused about their appearance and try everything to be different than anyone else. And I think this comes from just the pure overdose that we have nowadays of entertaining. People can't be surprised as much anymore. Everything has already been done nowadays. Going to the cinema isn't something special anymore. It's not considered special anymore. It's not the same thing as it was 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Movies 40 years ago were something big, something original. There were lots of new ideas. Nowadays, I feel like it has shifted a lot. Nowadays, everything has been done already. Well, not everything, but basically everything has been done already somewhere in some form. So being original nowadays is really hard, and I feel like it can be tricky, and it can be a dead end trying to be different, especially in the art and the movie and the music industry. Now, I come from an art and the movie background, and as I said, everybody wants to be different than anyone else, to step out of the mass and get recognition. Well, I think that's the wrong way of starting things. I think that's the wrong way of thinking, and I think that is the wrong way of starting your career. Me personally, as a director, I don't care how you look like at all. I don't care how crazy you are, how different you look like. I don't care what type of clothes you wear, what color your hair is. I don't care what your religion is. I care about your story. I care about your idea. If your idea is good, then it's good, and I will direct that movie. And I don't care how unique you are. It's so stupid. Nowadays, people are used to seeing crazy things in the cinema. I mean, you wake up and look at your phone and you open up Facebook or YouTube, and you find the entirety of entertainment and have access to thousands and thousands of different movies and hours of entertaining and knowledge and source material and everything. There is so much great stuff on YouTube that no one knows about. There is so much information out there. You can just go on YouTube, you can just go on Google, on Vimeo, and learn everything. There's nothing that you can't learn through the internet nowadays. That's my opinion. There's so much free content out there, and there's so many different crazy and cool ideas. Everything has been done already. And I really, as I said, it's a dead end. Trying to create something new is a dead end nowadays. Especially, like, how do you learn singing? You don't learn singing by starting to sing your own songs. That's not how it works. You learn singing through copying, through listening to music, and then singing along, and singing other people's songs, and over, and then you start to... Sorry about that. And then you start to write your own songs, potentially, and get better at it. And then you start to sing your own songs. But you first have to listen to something. And it's exactly the same in the art and the movie industry. But I feel like no one really gets it. Like, everybody says, you can't copy other people. It's so bad. You have to be original. You gotta find your own style. Well, yes, you do. But how do you do that? Well, through copying other people at the beginning. Honestly, that's how it works. I watched movies as a child, and I liked it so much that one day I decided to make a movie on my own in school. And it was so much fun, and it worked out that from that day on, I decided to be a director one day, and I want to become a filmmaker. How do you become a great artist? You look at other people's artwork. You don't become an artist at the day that you are born. That's not how it works. So, yes, you should copy other people's work at the beginning. And there's actually a book, The Art of Stealing. And it's really true. And you copy other people's work and turn that into something new. Obviously, you don't want to copy them one by one. But you know that's not all I'm saying. You should never copy someone's work one by one. But you look at other people's work, you get inspired by that, and you do something based on that. And you turn it into something new. And then slowly you develop your own style. That's how it works. In all fields. Let it be art, let it be music, let it be movies. Or writing, acting, dancing, anything. You look at other people's work, you look at the professionals, and you start to copy them. and you develop your own style through that. And I think people don't get it. Like, everybody wants to be so crazy original at the beginning of their career that they totally miss the point of developing themselves to that person who then gets copied by others. You know, they totally forget to work on themselves and work on their ideas. They're so focused on being different than anyone else. They're so close-minded and focused on being unique. It makes no sense. And I am very guilty of this as well. In art school, in the first and the second semester, I thought about being crazy enough a lot. I thought, am I crazy enough to be an artist? I thought in order to be really good, you would need to be a little crazy in your head, you know. Well, you don't need to be crazy to be creative. That's two different things. And while one half at art school were smoking pot in order to be able to come up with their artwork and be creative, and the other part just being totally ignorant and being original and so different, and then I was somewhere in the middle and thought to myself, what am I doing here? Do I belong here? I'm not crazy. I'm just an average guy. I look completely normal in comparison to everyone else. Am I crazy enough to be an artist? And that's also the video that is on this channel, like the where did this come from video, where I talked about this topic, or where I focused this topic, this question of being crazy enough. And I think I even say that in the movie, like, am I crazy enough? I don't know. And so I was thinking about this a lot. And now I get it. Now I don't think about this anymore. Looking back at it, it was good to have that development, to have that thought. Now I get it. You don't need to be crazy. You need to be good. You need to be good at it. You need to be good at what you're doing. That's it. That's the honest truth. If your idea is good, then it's good. It's that simple and yet that hard. One funny story I always like to think of, that I haven't told anyone really, or just a few people, at the first exhibition that I have ever had in art school. It was the second semester, and at the end of the second semester there is a big exhibition at art school where people can buy our artwork. Now obviously I was just in the second semester, so I was just at the beginning of the first year. And everyone was in this self-conscious and self-aware state of creating themselves and trying to figure out who they are and what they will become one day and what they want to do. And it was the same for everyone. It was the same for me. I was thinking, am I crazy enough? You know, who do I want to become at one day? And the funny thing is that I felt so incredibly apart from the rest of the class, because I was drawing comics and I was doing short film narrative movies that nobody liked, and I had no experience in experimental movies, and I had no experience in painting and sculpture, sculpturing. What's that? You know what I mean. And so we had our first exhibition, and guess what happened? I was the only one who sold his artwork. Which was really funny to me. Because everybody was so focused about it, and everybody was so incredibly into themselves, you know, and thinking, oh, I am an artist. I never, not even once, called myself an artist. And I, up to this point, would never consider myself an artist. I consider myself a director. Now I do. But I don't consider myself an artist. What I do is not it might be art to a certain degree, but the whole category artist has a strong meaning to me. However, I was the only one who sold his artwork. And I didn't care about it at all. I was the one who cared about that / thought about that the least. The least?
Can you say that? Does that make sense? At least, like, I didn't think about it at all. You know what I mean. But everybody else did. And no one sold anything. And I sold all of my artwork. I sold the first and one and only piece of, like, the object, sculpture, or whatever I did. It was a paper block. It's hard to explain. But anyways, I sold that for $300. And it was so funny because everyone was so mad at me. You know, what? He sold his stuff? I don't know. They were overthinking it, I guess. So that is a story I often like to think about. And obviously that all was very small in comparison to the scale of people being crazy and different that we have in Hollywood. I mean, look at how the people dress. Everybody is a special snowflake, and everybody needs to be different. But as I said, if everyone is different, no one is. And I won't care about that at all. I don't focus on that, and I don't care about being different. I am who I am. And if I'm just the average Joe, then I am the average Joe. And I feel completely fine with that, because I don't care. I want to make movies. I want to make good movies. And my strength is in talking with people and working with strangers. And so I know my strength, I know my goal, and I don't care what other people think of me and how I look like and how I should dress and how I should appear as an artist, as a filmmaker. So this is it. This was my very first try of doing a podcast. We got about an hour of me talking about random stuff right now. And you might have noticed, if you watched the video, you might have noticed that the time switched like 3 times now. That's because it's now 2 days later than when I started recording this video. But as I said, I was really tired and I just didn't have time. So anyway, this was my first try and never did it in German. Never did it in Espanol, never did it in Italian, never did it in Japanese before, because I don't speak those languages. What? I hope 1 or 2 of you guys enjoyed this. It's hard for me to believe that anyone is still here at this point, so if anyone actually watched or listened until this point, please write "I like trains" in the comments. If I see one "I like trains" in the comments, I will eat an entire bowl of Tide Pods. No, I won't. But I'll be happy. I would be really happy to see that. Please write "I like trains." That would make my day, as I always like to say. And yeah, I would like to do this more often. I really enjoy this. This could become a weekly thing. But I'm not saying it will become a weekly thing. I'm not saying there will be a new episode every single week. But I'm saying it potentially could become a weekly thing in the future. I really enjoy talking like this. I really enjoy talking to you guys. I really like the conversation, and I really like talking in English in general and talking about random stuff that I care about, because I have no friends and I can't talk with anyone. No, that's not true. I just like talking. So yeah, please give me some feedback. Right, I like trains. Let me know what you thought about the topics. Let me know about lucid dreaming and everything, and about how you feel about the whole topic of being different and unique and crazy. And I see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for listening to this. It means a lot. Until the next one, have a great day. Peace out. Bye.